very close to contact. That had to be so close. Smoking in to the mark. It's game on. Here's an awesome race in towards the bottom gate. Have a go at the speed, 43 knots. This team is absolutely on fire.
Hello and welcome to all of you eSailGP fans around the world. Welcome to the eSailGP Championship 2020. We are in the 6th pop-up qualifier. It's the 3rd pop-up. It's the 6th qualifier. We're going to find one more person for the grand final, the 14th of August. My name is Thomas Bjørn Luthi and I am going to be your host all day, but I'm not going to do it all alone. I'm going to do it together with one of my favorite hosts. He's sitting in London at the moment. Please welcome Alec Wilkinson.
Hello, good evening if you're watching in Europe. Good morning down under and, well, whatever it is in the USA. Hello, welcome everyone. We've got another fantastic eSailGP competition coming your way.
And Alec, it's going to be fantastic today because today we have 8 players almost played or placed all around the globe. From New Zealand to Australia to Europe. The only thing we're missing is from America or South America today. So that's going to be great. And Alec, what are we going to experience today?
We're going to experience, well, we're going to have another champion who is going to go through to the grand final. And time is running out to make that grand final because after this, we've got basically one more qualifier before the grand final on the 14th of August. So time is running out if you haven't made it yet. But we've got 8 really top-class sailors. Some have already made it to this stage before, but have never quite managed to qualify for the grand final. So there's a lot at stake here. And there's a lot of pressure on some of these guys who have got this far before, but have never quite managed to go beyond.
And while we are saying haven't managed to come here before, let's speak a little bit about the format. It is the classic restart format where we're going to going downwards to a gate, upwards to a top gate, downwards to the bottom gate again, upwards to the top gate for the 2nd time. Then we're going for the reach mark and racing for the finish line. It is the EF50. We will have speeds in the game almost around 50 knots, and we have seen the servers in the test phase. It's going to be crazy, Alec. We have seen some of the sailors in the warm-up hit that 50 knots barrier, and maybe they will hit a little bit more. So let's see what will happen.
I have a couple.
Yeah, I've got a little inner monologue that is definitely tied to mantras and like sayings, and yeah, I probably sometimes talk to myself out loud a little bit.
Smarter, not harder. You know, whenever you're trying to do something, you should always think about what is the smartest way to do this as opposed to taking on the hardest approach.
Just take every day as it comes, really. That's what I'm doing.
Never give up. Yeah.
I say stuff like a lot, like I have a lot of stuff that I say seems legit a lot. But I don't like live by mottos or mantras at all.
Nothing is given, everything is earned.
And the other one is that if it wasn't difficult, it wasn't even worth pursuing.
When I learned how to sail, I didn't really like it, but Dad just kind of threw me in the boat on the big winds, and he's like, well, just remember that, you know, when the going gets tough, the tough get going.
You will be remembered for the rules you break. Just wake up and work hard. Shut up and show up.
Focus. That's one. Focus is definitely one.
No real mantra, you know, I just try to work as hard as I can and, you know, try to be the best I can every day.
You're in situations which you often are in life, whether it's in competition or in daily life, you're always going to challenge yourself. So you've got to be prepared for it to be difficult, and you've got to find the smart way to go about it. So if you live your life by those 2 things, which I try to do, you tend to be quite successful.
And Alec Wilkinson, the players are ready, and here in front of us we have one of the youngest players today. It's Aidan Gordon. He's sitting in New Zealand. he's ready for it, and see with that eSailGP cap on his head.
Yeah. He got that from the Inspire program when he went off to Sydney when eSailGP visited Australia recently, and he wears it with pride. And he's got a strange kind of playing position, which we'll discuss a little bit later on. But yeah, 3 fleet races coming up in order to qualify for the match race. Will this young man from Queenstown in New Zealand make it through? Yeah. Well, let's stay sort of in that part of the world and travel to Brisbane. Dean Foran of Australia. There we are. Number 1 at the moment on that left-hand side. He gives us a wave, and he is hugely experienced now. He hasn't been sailing long, but he's done well and already made it to the World Championship Final last year. Can he make it through to the eSailGP Grand Final? Tim Carpentier, he's had a few attempts at getting through to the final before, hasn't quite made it. He's in France. Will he make it this time?
And Alec, let's get ready to rumble. Race number 1 coming up. Tim coming back in the race. We just need Aidan to come back in, and there is the start sequence. 1 minute and 12 seconds left.
Yeah, so just now working out where they're going. So they're heading for that vertical yellow line. If you're joining us for the first time, that is the mark. It's on a reach, and they will turn left at that mark and head in that direction for the first time in this race. And very soon you're going to see them getting into the position that they want to be in, whether that's from the middle of the line or towards the right of the line. It's how they read the current conditions, how they read the wind direction right now. And in a few seconds' time, you'll start to see them power up as they head for that start line, trying to hit it at 0. Javinho, we just saw a shot of him. He's looking to make his second match race final. Remember, it's 3 fleet races, right? And the 2 top players will make it through to the match race final. And the winner of that head-to-head will go through to the eSailGP Grand Final. Here we go then. 5 seconds to go. It's race 1. We're racing in Cowes off the coast of the Isle of Wight in the UK. And Dean Foran gets a good start. Javinho better though with the Spanish flag as they all converge on this reach mark. It's really congested. They turn left and it's Javinho who's out in front.
Yeah, great start. Interesting to follow this battle because Dean in the Blackbird we have marked here, he was in the best position on the inside, ready to penalize the others, but Javinho doing such a great job, but he's followed by the young Portuguese Martin Fernandez.
Martin Fernandez, young, but again, really experienced on the real waters as a laser radial sailor as well as in eSailing. And we saw the Portuguese doing really well in the National eSailing Championships in Portugal. But right now we're following Winds 98 coming right up to this barrier, right up to this boundary, I should say, and then heading off. Now, again, if this is your first tune-in since our last final, you might notice that we've got a slight change of colour of the water, haven't we, Thomas?
Yeah, in the right-hand side, we can see a light colour. That means they are in lighter wind. So the only one going into a harder breeze is Dean from Australia. Can he win some meters on it? But the battle is in the opposite side right here. Javinho hoping that the wind is shifting, and see the ley line, Alec. That's the dotted line is shifting. So Javinho, we see here in the lead, hopes to do 1 more tack upwind and not 2 if he's going into a good position. Pepito from France, Tim Carpentier in 3rd at the moment. Interesting battle coming up.
Yeah, here comes Dean in from the left-hand side. Didn't quite pay off though, as Javinho now is through that gate, followed again by Martin Fernandez. So no change on these early legs. These races lasting about 4.5 minutes. So they're quick, they're fast, and don't blink. You'll miss all the action. Yeah. Dean Foran now sitting in 4th.
Yeah, and interesting, he was the only one going to the far side from us in the view, and he's doing one attack lesser than the rest of them. See, trying to focus to hit that mark down there. No, he's going to do one more jibe there. Pepito and him coming close to each other, side by side towards the bottom gate mark. And that's an interesting battle because all points count here, Alec. Will Dean win it or will Pepito take it? See, Dean, he's a little bit... he's really pushing those buttons right now, early morning in Australia.
That's right, yeah. Our friend in our competitors in New Zealand and in Australia getting up really early to take part in this. It's about 10 o'clock at night in the rest of Europe.
Yeah.
Aidan Gordon here from New Zealand coming into that gate, looking to close the gap a little bit on the rest of the fleet, currently sitting at the back. So the software engineers have basically made it much, I wouldn't say easier, but it's clearer to spot the stronger breeze from the lighter breeze now, because the lighter breeze, the ocean, looking more like a Bermudan ocean, to be honest, than the Solent, where we're competing here. That sort of lovely light turquoise blue is where the lighter breeze is, which is now darkening as they head towards this gate.
Yeah, and interesting to see Javinho 26 knots, Martin Fernandez 26.2. He's in a good position when he tacks towards the top mark. Let's try to follow that. Then he will have the right away. The two other boats will be in trouble. See, Pepito needs to tack straight away. Javinho go in front of them and see that really light area behind them is the wind shadow, but these boats are sailing so fast that we cannot always calculate with the wind shadow, but see that battle here for second and third. Pepito, Martin Fernandez. Right now, Martin Fernandez are in trouble. If he's getting hit by Pepito, he's coming in front of him. It's going to be close, Alex. See here. This is a battle.
He's pushing it, and Pepito just holding off, not wanting to pick up a penalty, just playing it calm. And right now, it's so close between the leading four boats, and time is running out for those chasing Javinho. Yeah. Martin Fernandez still in second. Now, interesting, Dean Foran and Pepito coming into this final mark, neck and neck, and it's the Frenchman that just goes round in the lead. And he's now going to accelerate away on the reach and finish in third place. So it's a victory for the Spaniard Javinho, second to Martin Fernandez of Portugal, and Pepito, Tim Carpenter of France in third, with the Australian fourth. And then it's France in fifth and sixth. And Aidan Gordon of New Zealand coming in across the line now at the back of the fleet.
Yeah. And quite interesting here, very close battle we are starting with that, Alec. I have to say, 3 seconds in between number 1 and 2, and 3 seconds in between number 2 and 3, and 1 second to number 4. This just shows how strong these players are. This is top level sailing. Normally in these EF50 matches, we see in between 5 and 10 seconds in between the boats. So very, very strong case here. Javinho with the best start, wings 98 with the best average speed. Martin Fernandez hitting 48.5 knots downwind, sailed the shortest distance. What's Pepito? He came back in the race. We'll see that in a chart in a few seconds. Aidan Gordon, he had the best wind speed, but he couldn't use it to anything, losing the race. And most number of jibes to Javinho. Interesting that the winner is taking most number of jibes. Defending, because jibes, every time you jibe and tack, you lose momentum. Javinho in the lead from the start, but see the battle in between Dean wins, Martin Fernandez, Aidan. Dean coming in second after the start. Then he dropped down to position 5, coming back in fourth. But see Pepito having the worst start ever in this game. We have seen it before. We have seen him with this strong racing before. He is starting in 8, ending up 3. Great job by Tim Carpenter. And Alec, we're going to do a small interview, and we have promised some of the players they are so focused that we'll not ask them too many questions. But let's try to speak with the winner of this first race.
Yeah, why not? Because I mean, Javinho from Spain, from Galicia. Javinho, you made it to the match race final in the New York event, if I remember correctly. So you missed out just for a place in the grand final. Are you feeling confident this time?
It's so complicated. The level is so high. All the players are tops. It's so difficult. And this format is very complicated to win.
And that race there, you started in the lead. You held your lead. Did you feel pressure from behind?
In the first mark, yes. After the mark, no. But the first mark is complicated.
Okay, Javinho, thank you very much. Good luck for the rest of the racing.
Thank you.
I'll just let Dean switch his mic on. And how's it going? How's it going, Dean? A fourth place. Are you happy with that? Sort of mid fleet, just to start you off.
Yes, that's not bad. It's a very hard competition with any of these guys, and once you get into a position, it's very hard to make any ground. It's very easy to lose ground. So it was probably less than half a second late at the start there, and just caught a bit of gas from Javinho, and then that's it. You slow down, you're in the middle of the pack. It doesn't take much to put your game off here.
You told me just before we went on air that this is not the best time of day for you.
No, the synapses has slowed down a little bit. The hand-eye coordination isn't quite there, which doesn't help when you're a little bit older, probably more than twice the age of all the other competitors.
So have you, I mean, the last time we spoke was at the World Championships, and you were 51, you were the oldest finalist. But in the end, that championship went to a guy who was like in his late 40s. So, it's not all about age, is it?
No, it's not. I suppose it's a little bit of luck, being in the right place at the right time, picking up a wind shift, and just holding your nerve.
All right, Dean, he's playing it cool, but there's experience. And an experienced head helps as well. All right, Dean, good luck for the rest of the racing.
And Alec, what a first race we just had there. Some surprises, and what a comeback by Pepito from France. He is so good coming back, starting last, ending up third. But in the picture right now, we have Sinjit ending up fifth, as I remember.
Yeah, the man from Marseille, who's currently sitting in Paris playing this game, finished fifth in race number one. Remember, we've only got two more qualifying fleet races for that match race final. So all those who were mid-fleet have really got to prove themselves in this race. They've got to finish in the top three. It's all about consistency. Yeah. And here's another Frenchman, Valentin Lisa. He's had an okay sort of race performance-wise, but it didn't work out in the end because he finished seventh in that first race. How is he going to do this time? We shall have to wait and see as he sits playing this game in Toulouse.
Yeah. And last player we're going to see is Martin Fernandez. We have heard a lot about him. Let's follow him here when the start goes of race number 2. And Alec, what a breath. It's all about being ready for 3 races in a row. Full focus, full concentration. We've seen it before when Havuk won this qualifier final. He lost the first race, got third in the second and got second in the last and went into the final. So everything is still open. People need to focus.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about other, finalists. The incredible thing is that of the 5 players already through to that grand final, we've only got 3 countries represented: Spain, Turkey, and Great Britain. Are we going to see another nation added to that list this evening? We shall see. 30 seconds to go, and all calm at the moment, right on the boundary here in the pre-start. But as you will see, they're going to start catching that breeze, and they're now going to start moving into position. They like that right-hand side of the line. With 10 seconds to go, they accelerate away. This is one of the fastest, most frightening in many ways moments of the race as they all converge at the start line. It is go. It is all clear. Martin Fernandez is slowed, though. I don't know if he picked up a penalty or if he was over the line early. We'll have to have another look at that. But right now, we're at this breach mark. Pepito highlighted there, but it's the yellow flag of one of the French players who is out in front.
It's Sintjet taking the lead. Him and Javinho had the battle on the inside. Sintjet managed to go on the inside of Javinho. He has to ride away when they're coming to the gate mark. Aidan with a better start, but he's moving the boat too much. It's like he is out of control. It's also early morning in New Zealand. Interesting call. Aidan going to the right-hand side, and see Sintjet. He just managed to come up to do only 2 tacks when he's going upwind. And Alec, then I have to explain. See here the boundaries. It's making some type of race course where they need to tack, and Sintjet managed to do a 2 tack upwind. And the dotted ley line we have here in front of him, if that moves in favor for him, he can tack towards the top mark, and then he can continue his speed without losing any speed. Great stuff by him.
Yeah, the course very dark up this end of the course of this leg, so you can see that the speeds are now increasing. We've got about 27 knots. Wait till they turn around and go back the other way, and we'll see how fast they go. We haven't spoken about speed yet. We will on the next leg. But right now, really close between the top 3, and then it's a long way back to the rest of the fleet.
A very close battle here. Javinho taking the battle with wins 9-8. It looks like Sintjet, he made a genius thing. Oh, he needs to do an extra taxi there. The wind was shifting, so he's losing a little bit momentum, not winning that much. So Javinho coming with speed after him, but he has a gap down to the Spanish sailor. Wind's going opposite side.
No surprise to see Sintjet of France out in front. He's qualified for this with a perfect score, the only player in this fleet to have done so. So he is right on form, and his finish of 5th place will have been very disappointing for him in race number 1. But here he is out in front. Can he hold on to that lead? It's certainly growing. Javinho will want to stay in touch. He'll want to stay in 2nd place, having won the first race. We keep saying this. It's about consistency. But he has got wins 98 right on his tail.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting. See that battle. Javinho pushed wins 98 away from him and actually pressured him, and that made Aidan Gordon and Dean Foreman coming back. So Dean and Aidan back in the race. Wins losing momentum. That's good news for Aidan Gordon. He's sitting there in New Zealand, switching position this time. I love it. He's much more focused this time.
So Aidan Gordon, he played the last match lying on his front and leaning on his elbows. This time he's lying on his back. We'll see if this is a better position for him. But that yellow tail of Sintjet is now being reeled in by Aidan Gordon and Javinho.
Yeah, and it's a really close battle. Dean and Javinho going to the right-hand side here. That's giving the right away when they're going upwind. Sinjit losing momentum. See, he's now in second. Aidan winning, but he is in the wrong side of the course. If he's getting too close from the others, he will get the penalty because the other boats have the right of way. But they're coming to the mark rounding.
2 boats coming in from the right, 2 boats coming in from the left. And I think it's going to be these guys on the right-hand side that have the advantage. Yes, they have. Dean Foran once again coming in from the left. And Sinjit is out in front, but it's so close now as Javinho is moving up and closing in on Sinjit. Pepito and Aidan Gordon also in the hunt.
Yeah. And this is quite interesting. See, Dean and Aidan is battling for that 3rd position. Dean, he needs it. Javinho, he just needs to keep secured on that 2nd. Sinjit is taking a victory here because Javinho doesn't want to battling him. So great stuff by the Frenchman winning this one. Javinho gets 2nd, but see the battle here for the secondary positions. Pepito coming back.
Gordon in 3rd. Dean Foran, Australian, in 4th, right on the New Zealanders' tail, but it's too late because Aidan Gordon takes that 3rd place. Then comes the Australian.
Yeah, and we can see here in the end, wins losing last positions to Martin Fernandez just on the finish line. What a close call.
Yeah, so points are going to be interesting, aren't they? Yeah. So confirmation then, Sinjit 1st, Javinho 2nd, Aidan Gordon 3rd, Dean Foran 4th. Well, we talk about consistency. Foran has certainly been consistent. That is his 2nd, 4th place finish, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Pepito in 5th, Valentin Lisa in 6th, and Martin Fernandez, who he had quite a few penalties in that race, paid the price, finished 7th, wins 98, who I thought was moving up the fleet at one point, ends up in 8th.
Yeah, and interesting also to see Martin Fernandez. He got 2nd in the first race. He had a podium position, and this time he got 2nd last. See, 5 penalties to Martin Fernandez in the battle. Some of them before the start went in, but interesting to see who got the penalty in the start of the race. But Dean, he had the best start from Australia. Sinjit, best average speed. Pepito, best maximum speed. But it was Javinho sailing the shortest distance, get the maximum wind speed in. But again, he's doing a lot of number of jibes and tacks, and that will slow him down. And when we see the battle here, we can see Sinjit coming back masterly, mark rounding after the first reach mark, winning over the others. Dean losing that reach mark rounding, dropping down actually all the way back to 6th, winning back to 4th, battling against Aidan Gordon. Javinho, a slow start from him, but he did a Pepito in the last race, came back in the race. It looked like they switched position and coming back in the race, and he got 2nd. Great job, great stuff by the sailors here in race number 2. Interesting to see the scoreboard after a small break.
このインスパイアプログラムに参加したのはやっぱり若い子たち、海外の若い子たちがどんなスキルを持っているのかにもすごい気になったし、自分のスキルがどのぐらい通用するかっていうところも気になって出たいと思ったし、あとはやっぱeSailGPっていう大きな大会がホストしている大会に出ることもすごく光栄だと思うので、それも興味があって参加させていただきました。私がセーリングを始めたのは兄が、最初にセーリングをやっていて、それに一緒についていってたらいつの間にか始めていたっていう感じで始めました。セーリングをしてるとやっぱり自然の中で自然と戦いながらスポーツをできるので、その風を感じながら自分で考えてコースを引いて勝ったら嬉しいところがセーリングの魅力だと思います。日本ではセーリングっていう競技があんまり有名じゃないんですけど、自分はやっぱ小さい頃からセーリングをやっていたっていうのもあったし、もう自分の生活の一部みたいになっていたので、今も一部になってたんですけど、途中からは勝つことの楽しさだったりとか、海外の子たちとたくさん関われる競技だなって思ったところがすごいヨットのいいところだと思ったので今も続けています。今年の東京オリンピックに 出場が決まったので、それをきっかけに日本の人たちにもセーリングっていう競技を知ってほしいと思うし、その自分が成績を出すことによってセーリングに興味を持ってもらえたら嬉しいと思います。いつかはSailGP F50 にも乗ってみたいですし、今日本チームで乗っているネイサン・アウトリッチさんみたいなすごい素晴らしいセーラーに自分もなりたいと思っています。
Welcome back. Let's go straight to the mix zone and speak to the winner of race number 2. It's Sinjit, who's sitting in Paris. Congratulations, bien fait, Sinjit. Tell me about that race.
It was a very, very close race. I did a good start. I was happy. I wasn't sure I would come up in first at the first mark, but I did. And then it was a great battle to keep that spot because there was a lot of competition behind. Really happy.
Yeah, so you're in the hunt. We'll show the scoreboard in a moment. You're in the hunt for a place in the final. Who do you fear most in this last race?
I don't think I'll play it like this. I think I'll try to do my best, and I think finish first would be. So let's head for the first spot and not calculate anything, not fear anyone, and see what happens.
Okay, Sanjit. Bon chance. Well done.
Merci. Thanks.
Let's have a look at the scoreboard then. And there it is. Confirmation that Javinho is out in front. 19 points, 3 ahead of Frenchman Sanjid. And then comes Pepito with 14, equal on points with Dean Foran on 14. But we've seen it happen before, you know. We've seen it. I've got pen and paper here because I've been doing the maths. But we've seen it before, haven't we? That the overall leader after 2 races throws it away under pressure in race number 3. So just because Javinho has got a 3-point lead and just because he's made the match race final before doesn't mean he's going to be able to stick that pressure and get through again this time.
Yeah. And as the chat just said, hey, you lost you, Thomas. You didn't have an audio, but I just have to say, as Alex said, 5 players has the chance to take it. They can do what I will say, do an Havuk. Khan Mansluka, he did it, losing the first race and came back, took that second and won the match race. It's all open. Who will join Havuk in this grand final? It's time to race number 3. Let's see who will do it. And Alec Wilkinson, race number 3 coming up. This is the final race for that spot to the grand final, to the match race, where it's mano a mano. And here's one player that we're seeing in front of us, a young talent, Martin Fernandez from Portugal, winning a lot of the J-boats there.
Martin Fernandez, hugely experienced both on the water and in eSailing, national laser radial champion in Portugal, but is also skipper on the Sailing Champions League in Portugal as well. So hugely experienced and loves his J-boats in eSailing. So he's got the experience. But is he used to these very fast EF50 boats? They are something else, aren't they?
Yeah.
And we'll see just how fast they manage to go, and if we're going to conquer that 50-knot barrier that we've seen beaten a few times in these finals. So there is Pepito in the hunt for a place in the match race final. Not for the first time, it has to be said. Tim Carpentier was in the New York final, but a bad result in the last fleet race saw him miss out on the final. Can he turn that around this time?
Yeah. And then we have Dean. He's also ready to go into this match race if he top performs. And the same thing the other player from Down Under, Aidan Gordon, needs to do. Alec, let's start the race. Race number 3 coming up. Let's see if it's the youngsters or the older player from Down Under that will take the second spot. Or will it be Sinjet or Pepito from France? Or will it be a Portuguese youngster taking the challenge? Let's get ready to rumble.
The boats to look out for are Javinho with the Spanish flag just there on the left-hand side. Can he hold on to his 3-point lead? Then there's the battle between the Australian Dean Forum and the Frenchman Pepito, or Tim Carpentier, equal on points in third place on 14. And sandwiched between those two battles is the Frenchman Sanjit, who is just 3 points off the lead. So it's going to be close. It's going to be exciting. And now they're lining up as the clock counts down to this deciding qualifying race of the eSailGP. We're on the waters of Cowes in England. And at the moment, it looks like the wind, the breeze, a little bit stronger than it has been in the previous 2 races here in the start box. So 20 seconds to go, and now they start to crank up the speed, crank up their position towards the wind. They start to speed up. They want to hit that line.
Alex, see that battle. Pepito putting himself on the inside, battling with Javinho. Javinho with the best start, but Pepito on the inside. He can pressure and penalize all the other boats, but Sinjit coming with speed now.
Sinjit out in front. Dean Foran picked up a penalty on the start. The worst possible start for the Australian. The best possible start for the Frenchman Sinjit. And then Pepito in second. So it's France 1 and 2. And Javinho still in the hunt there in third place. And that's where he needs to stay, up near the front.
Yeah, and it's very, very important to Javinho. Let's follow him here. The Spanish sailor. He's sitting there in his, I have to say, his beautiful legendary couch. We're speaking a lot about it in the streams. He's here, all focused, back in second, going upwind. Can he hold this match?
So upwind for the first time, and it's Pepito and Sanjit. Not much between them. Javinho in there as well. And look at the kind of jostling for position. We're watching the leading boats here, moving towards the right-hand side of the course now. Who have we got with this black flag? That's Aidan Gordon coming towards this left-hand boundary.
And it's quite interesting to see Aidan was the only one going to the left-hand side into lighter wind, and now he's coming back. He's going a little bit against the wind, but he's still 27.3 knots. The other ones just did attack and lost momentum. See, that's pretty costly for him. He's losing his first place now and dropping down to 5th or 6th position. But see, a pack of 4 coming at the same time. Pepito, he wants to be in that final. Sinjit, he wants to be in that final. Javinho and Win side by side. Oosh, it's going to be very, very close, Alec.
Here come the two Frenchmen side by side to the gate. And a slight jump there on my screen. Anyway, Pepito is out in front, according to this. But in fact, we're seeing Sinjit in there as well. Anyway, Javinho is in third. So he stayed in touch with the leaders. And wins 98, having a good race here in 4th place.
But see, Javinho, he's tagging him off, jabbing him off. He wants to defend that position. He's going in front of Wins. He wants to keep that 3rd, because if he finish in top 4th, he will continue into the match race. So this is a battle for surviving. But who will join in? Will it be Sinjit or Pepito? That is the case here. Top 4 is all in case of going into the match race.
So here we go then, and over on that left-hand side are the 2 leaders. Over on this right-hand side, we've got the 3rd placed Javinho, leader overall. Who's going to take 2nd?
Interesting call by Javinho. He's known for doing all these tags. He did a tag into the open area to go out to see if he can catch the ley line, and only doing 1 tag upwind and continue covering wings. But every time he tags, he loses momentum, open up. That means Martin Fernandez is currently in 3rd. Oi, what's happened there? No, Sinjit got pressured out by Pepito. That couldn't be worse. Dropping to 7. What a battle we just had there, Alec. Pepito taking 2nd.
An incredible match racing move there from Pepito, forcing his opponent out where he didn't want to go, and then just maneuvering to get himself into the lead. And that is certainly played into the hands of Javinho, who still sits 3rd, but is much closer and more in touch now with the leader. But I think we're going to see Pepito move away and start to extend his lead as we come to the final the final leg of this race, of this final race. Javinho 2nd, wins 98. What a great performance from him. Definitely his best of the night, sitting in 3rd. And Sinjit, oh dear, he's now all the way back in 4th. But look at the distance. He's not going to make that up. He is out, down and out. Dean Foran is out of it as well. Martin Fernandez, Aidan Gordon, out of it. But it looks like we're seeing the 2 match race finalists making it across the line now. So Pepito wins race number 3. Javinho, our overall leader, takes 2nd, wins 98. Good performance from him, but it's too late in 3rd. And then Sinjit, in the end, finishes in 4th. Whoa! Let's catch our breath.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if that was the 2 persons going into it. It's going to be very close. See, we have Sinjit here in the picture before going into the scoreboard. And Alec, I think it's going to be quite interesting when we're coming into this scoreboard, because Sinjit 4 points, Pepito 10 points. Sinjit is getting 7 points. How many points was in between them? That is the case after the break. We will not take this race into pieces. We will just get ready to see who is going into the final. First of all, Alec, let's see if we can take our dear Tim Carpentier into the studio, to the mix zone, in a few seconds.
Okay.
Sorry, what was that?
I think it's fine. I mean, I think Tim's English is good enough and Alex French is good enough also.
Hi, Tim.
Hi.
Well, that was a great final race.
Yeah. I'm very sorry for Sinjit.
So, expliquez-moi, qu'est-ce que s'est passé? Qu'est-ce que tu as fait?
Bah, en fait, il fallait qu'il fasse 2 places derrière moi pour que je puisse passer en finale. Du coup, bah, je l'ai bloqué pour que les 2 autres y passent.
Yeah, he said he had to get 2 places in front of Sinjit in order to make the final, and so he blocked him. It's classic match race tactics there. Well done. I think we haven't had it confirmed yet. We're going to have a look at the scoreboard, but I think we're going to be seeing Pepito in the match race final. Well, according to my maths. Thomas doesn't agree, but we'll see. Well done, Pepito.
But Alec, I'm not sure about the math here. Let's go in and have the math in front of us. I'm now upgrading the overall scoreboard, and Alec, I have to say, it couldn't be closer. Oh, that's fair. There we have you, Alec, instead of. See there, Alec. We have the scoreboard. Javinho, 28 points. Pepito, 24 points. Sinjit, 23 points. So, 1 point in between the two competitors. So if Sinjit ended up third instead of fourth, it has been him in the final. Or actually, we'd had a tiebreak.
Perfectly played then. Perfectly played by Pepito. Incredible result. Absolutely nailed the tactics in that final race.
Yeah. And after a small break, Alec, here, we will go into the match race. And we're going to see Pepito versus Javinho. And who of them will join this guy? Again, remember, there is the grand final, the 14th of August. It will be Jorn Cardona and Havuk they're going to battle, and some of the other players. Alec, right now the players are getting ready for this match race. Pepito from France against Javinho from Spain. Are we going to see a new nationality in the grand finals, or it's going to be Spain again?
Yeah, is France going to get its first grand finalist? We shall see. But what a great story, because Pepito got to that final race before and then blew it and didn't make the match race final, whereas Javinho performed well in that third race in New York and made it through to the final, but then didn't win it. So much. Both players really have come so close at least once already. Can they just grasp the opportunity this time and win it?
And I really love when they can hear what we are saying. I can see their faces here on the screen behind me. They are really nervous and focused, and they are ready in the server, Alec. Let's get ready to rumble. Let's go in to the match race. Who will go to the grand final, the 14th of August? And that's Alec. We want to see Javinho. He's ready here with the Spanish boat, Spanish eSailGP. He's going to against Tim Carpentier, Pepito.
Yeah, so Javinho in his second match race final, his second attempt to make it through to the eSailGP Grand Final. Wow, I wonder how he's feeling sitting in Galicia right now. And then we have Pepito of France. Again, another attempt at making it through to the Grand Final. Who will have the nerve to hold on to this and win it? Now, let's see if this turns into an early pre-start battle. 44 seconds to go. And at the moment, they're just laying off each other. Neither of them wants to start a head-to-head fight here. But we've seen Pepito's ruthlessness already in race number 3 by blocking Sinjit and making it through to this final.
But now the battle starts. It's all about being on the inside. Javinho gets the first penalty, lose the first battle. It's all about being in the left-hand side in this battle. And see, that's where Pepito wants to go. Another penalty to Javinho. He can't slip away, but it's a slow start for both of them. Now we are getting ready.
Yeah. About 5 seconds to go now. I'm going to let you do this because I've got a freeze on my screen.
Yeah, here we go. The start has gone on. Javinho with a slow start. Pepito with a little bit more speed. Javinho, he's scratching his nose. We have seen that face before, but he's not out of the race. Coming to the reach mark. They're going around it. Yeah, there we go. Pepito coming downwind first. Closely followed by Javinho. And Alec. This can't be closer. Let's see what's happening here now, because this gate mark rounding is all about it. And Javinho getting ready to take the far side gate. No, he's switching side by side coming up.
But it's Pepito out in front and Javinho is following, and Pepito now beginning to build up that lead. And will there be a comeback for Javinho? We saw a very similar situation to this in that last match race final in which Javinho missed out. He just wasn't aggressive enough. But what about this? He's closed the gap on Pepito.
Yeah, I have to say Pepito made a small mistake there, and there's no room for mistake in an EF50. If you tag and jibe with this boat, you lose momentum, and Pepito made that mistake that he wants to cover up Javinho, and that slowed him down and made Javinho come back in the race, side by side.
Javinho has a second chance. He has a chance to live again and take this match race final. Pepito still in the lead, though. Both of them looking really completely unmoved, very focused, very concentrated, especially Pepito. Look at that. He's a picture of concentration and focus. No movement there at all. Is he actually alive?
Pepito used the rules to penalize Javinho. He caught him in a trap, and that's giving him some slack again, but only 60 meters. That was an eSport move, not a sailor move. In real sailing, he got the red flag, but here it works in eSport. Going downwind, Alec.
Yeah, going downwind, and it's going to be tough for Javinho to come back. He's done it once. Can he do it a second time now? But really, the gap between these two lengthening, 45 knots. He's going slightly faster, Javinho, right now, but matched now by Pepito on that left-hand side.
Yeah. And there we go. Pepito coming in front of the mark here, coming first. Great attack move he made in the start. Javinho taking the shortest mark here. Mark rounding side by side. Pepito tries to cover up Javinho again. And this time he has all the time to do it.
Yeah, Pepito, 18 years old and sitting in Montpellier right now. And he will be... Well, I think he'll be celebrating once he's won this. We've never actually quite seen him animated because he's always this picture of concentration, isn't he?
Yeah.
But right now, he's got almost a 200-meter lead on his challenger. And at the moment, France is about to become the fourth nation to make the eSailGP Grand Final.
Yeah. And we can see Javinho, he's so focused, he wants to come back in the race. All the Spanish fans in the chat are saying that Pepito was using a trick. They're doing it with different faces in there, but it is an e-sport, remember that, guys. It's not sailing, it's not always fair play. I know you have unwritten fair play rules, but it's all about winning. And this time, Pepito did it, and rounding the top mark first, going for the reach mark.
Well, we started with 4 French players tonight. We're down to the last one, and it looks like he is going to come out on top. We've seen plenty of French players come through these qualifiers, but not one has made it to the grand final until now, unless something goes terribly wrong, and we've seen problems with connections before, but unless something goes terribly wrong, touch wood for Pepito, he is through to the grand final. Javinho, once again, he made it to the final, but it wasn't good enough to make it to the grand final. So Pepito, Tim Carpentier in Montpellier crosses the finish line and wins this Cows SailGP final to get a place in the grand final. And there is Javinho crossing in second. Well done. Well done, Tim. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can you explain? You can do it in French. Can you explain that move against Javinho?
Je voulais avoir plus d'avance pour être plus pour assurer la première place. Du coup, je lui ai mis un tribord.
Yeah. So he just, well, as you said, Thomas, he just wanted to just gain a bit of an advantage just to secure that leading place, that first place. So that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's about making sure you cross that line first, and taking advantage of the rules as well. So Tim, are you confident for the grand final?
Bah, il y a des très très bons joueurs, du coup, on verra. Et je sais pas, peut-être que j'ai une petite chance, une petite.
He thinks he's got a small chance. Lots of really good players competing in that final. Yeah, he thinks he's got a chance, but it's going to be tough for him. Tim, thanks very much.
And welcome back in studio. Alec, what a qualifier final we had here. What a match race. And today we saw the match race being, how can I say, being used as an esport for the first time. All the other times we have been seeing sailors competing against sailors, using the unwritten rule of fair play, but today Pepito actually used the rules of the game and made that challenge in the top there and won over Javinho. What a move.
Yeah, I mean, it's legal, as you say, within the esport game. So there you have it. But I do feel for Javinho. He's made that final twice now, and twice he's missed out. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, isn't it? He does have another chance, though.
He does have another chance, and we have to say congratulations to Pepito, Tim Carpentier, to going into that final in the grand final, the 14th of August. He's going to meet Havuk. He's going to meet Aidan Gordon. And now we have a Frenchie also with us. So 2 from Spain, 2 from Turkey, and 1 from France in a grand final, the 14th of August.
Yep. Let's not forget the Brit as well.
And the Brit, yeah. Yeah, I have to say that was your call there, because then there is something for the sunny, shining people on the British Islands. Alec, thank you for today, and best of luck to all of you out there. Stay safe, stay home, and have some fun.